in Photoshop. If you want to follow along, you can download the watermark previews or license the full resolution files from Adobe Stock. You can find the links to these images right below this video in the description. We're going to start out with these two layers, the photo frame background and the snow border. I have them on two separate layers, of course. Down, click on the bottom right corner, and then click on the bottom left corner. I'm going to hold the space bar again, click and drag to pan up, and complete that path. Now the color of the shape really doesn't matter, so I'm just going to make it red just so that you can see it. There it is, red. What I'm going to do now is enable the layer of the snow border. I'm going to click and drag her up to the top of the layers panel. And I'm also going to double tap here on the zoom tool just so we can see the image at 100%. And actually, now that I'm looking at it at 100%, I'm actually going to right click on it and choose fit on screen so that I can see the entire composition. Then I'm going to now you don't have to be very precise at this moment. You can just click and drag and we'll worry about the details later. So we're just going to select her as quick as we can. So I'm just clicking and dragging and notice that my selection is that. And you move one of those layers, but then move those two layers together. What I'm going to do now is press Ctrl T, Command T to transform, to scale this and adjust it accordingly. If you can't see the corner handles that you want to click and drag on, you can press Ctrl 0, that's Command 0 on the Mac, for the bird's eye view that allows you to see all four corner handles. Then I'm going to click and drag on this one here to scale it down by holding Shift, Alt, that's Shift, Option on the Mac. Now at this point, you can go back and adjust the layer mask if we need to. So I'm going to zoom in just so we can see the area line around her body. So we can adjust that by clicking on the layer mask in the properties panel. You can click on mask edge. If you don't see the properties panel, you can and then maybe shift edge with a negative value and see how that's adjusted. So keep adjusting it and making sure that that line is gone, but we don't lose any detail that we want to keep. Also, with this brush selected, I can click and drag here on the hair, and hopefully we'll get a better selection. Now, I didn't do that good of a job here, so I'm just going to leave it like this for now, and then I can come back with the brush tool and fix that in a moment. So I'm going to press OK, click on the brush tool, paint with white in areas that I want to keep. So I'm just going to paint with white in these areas here. And to get rid and I'm not going to take the time to do so now. I will do that after the tutorial. You can see the final image, but I'm just going to go around the entire image and just make sure that everything is masked out accordingly. And in most of these areas, everything needs to be okay. I know we got to work on this area here and like composite look much more realistic and much more interesting. So from the Adobe Stock library, I downloaded two elements we're going to use. We're going to use this shovel with snow, so let me just double click on that to open that up. And by the way, the links to the drag this one over to the left a little bit. I'm looking at the edges here, and maybe drag this one to the left as well, and press OK. Now, what I'm going to do now is click on the brush tool, select black as my foreground color, so I can pick black. I'm going to increase the size of my brush by clicking on the right bracket key on the keyboard, and I'm just going to paint. Again, you don't have to be very accurate. As long as you get close enough, it should be good. And I'm just painting these pixels away, which represent 4. And once panel, on the background layer, which is the only layer that we have in this document, I'm going to click on the new layer mask icon, and notice now the floor is no longer there. Now, it's not a perfect selection, but it's going to work because the color of the floor and the color of the table are very similar colors, and I think we're going to be able to get away with it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to simply click on the layer and releasing, and there's our file. It's a really big layer, so we're going to need to scale it down. Control T, Command T on the Mac to transform. We can't see the corner handles, so I'm going to press Control 0, Command 0 on the Mac. There's the corner handles, and now I'm going to adjust them accordingly. I'm holding Shift as I'm clicking on these corner handles on the screen. Then I'm going to press the V on the keyboard get the move tool, and maybe I can move it around if I need to. And I'm gonna click on the new group icon to create a new group. I'm gonna click and drag this snow layer in there. I'm gonna collapse it, and now it's in that group. Next, then with the brush tool, I can paint with white on this layer mask to start revealing some of that snow. So I'm gonna use the bracket keys on the keyboard as I work to increase and decrease the size of my brush snow a little bit better. Maybe something like that. What we're gonna do now is work with different elements. So I'm gonna open up the libraries panel. We're also downloaded from Adobe Stock. By the way, if you don't have Photoshop CC, you won't have the libraries panel, but you can still download the watermark previews onto your desktop and bring them into Photoshop as you would any other image. So you can still work with the previews. So what I'm going to do now is just select one of these elements and bring it over to the file that I'm working with, back into the file that we're working with, and I'm going to change the blend mode to screen so the black pixels disappear, and we only keep the bright pixels in this case now. Then I'm going to press Ctrl T, Command T to transform, Ctrl 0, Command 0 for bird's eye view, and I'm going to scale this element down. I'm going to press Ctrl 0, Command 0 again, zoom back in, and I'm going to just rotate it and make it fit accordingly. Now in this case, I'm going to do something like this. And I can, scale it more if I need to, or rotate it more if I need to. So whatever distortions I need to do for it to work. So maybe something like that. So I just press Enter to accept that transformation. And I'm going to use one more element. I'm going to use this one right down here. Again, Control C to copy and paste that in here. Change the blend mode to screen. Control C to transform. That's Command in the Mac. Control 0. Command 0 on the Mac, and scale this one in as well. And zoom in and rotate this one into position, maybe right about here or so. But I want this one to be in the back, so I'm going to click and drag this one and place it way back here. And I'm going to press V to select the move tool, and I'm going to move it around just to fit it into position. So maybe something like this. Actually, I just realized that I made a mistake. Notice how this element gets cut up right in this area? That's because this element needs to be right here. It needs to be in between the layer that's popping out to the subject and the layer that is put to the front. So right in between those two. So now the snow follows through into the frame. Now the last thing we're going to do is we're going to work with shadows. So first of all, the snow here on the table, it needs a shadow. So I'm going to open up this. You can use the settings that I have here if you like. Notice that I'm not using black, I'm using a dark burgundy color, which is similar to that color you see right there, right under the frame. And just brought the intensity down to about 25% using multiply. And notice the light is coming from the right. The light on her face is coming from the right, and so is the light hitting the frame. So you sort of want to match that with the shadow. So the shadows will be on the left side, sort of like here behind the frame. So this is what this is showing. If I were to bring it up to 100%, this is what that looks like. Obviously that's too much, so leave it at about 25% or so. And what I'm going to do now is, right above this snow element here, I'm going to create a new layer, and I'm just going to paint with this color here under the board. So you can click on the eyedropper tool, select that color, and maybe make it a little bit darker because it's too light. Something like that, and just continue that shadow that's coming off the board. And actually, let me drag this layer up on top of the group and just continue seeing that shadow that's coming off the board. So maybe something like this. So I'm going to press Z on the keyboard. I'm holding the Z key. I'm not letting go of it, and I'm going to zoom in to the corner here and release the Z key. It'll bring me back to the pen tool, which I had selected. Make sure that you have shape on the options panel on the drop down. Click on one corner, click on the next, hold the space bar, pan down, click on the bottom right corner, and then click on the bottom left corner. I'm going to hold the space bar again, click and drag to pan up, can complete that path. Now the color of the shape really doesn't matter, so I'm just gonna make it red just so that you can see it. There it is, red. What I'm gonna do now is enable the layer of the snowboarder. I'm gonna click and drag her up to the top of the layers panel. And I'm also gonna double tap here on the zoom tool just so we can see the image at 100% below it, so they're both selected. And I'm gonna click on this little chain link icon here to link those two layers. What that allows you to do is when you move one of those layers with the move tool, it moves both. They can be in different groups and they can be separated, so that allows us to keep those two layers together. What I'm going to do is just so we can see the areas that we need to work on. So we need to work on this area and then the blue outline around her body. So we can adjust that by clicking on the layer mask in the properties panel. You can click on mask edge. If you don't see the properties panel, you can and then maybe shift edge with a negative value and see how that's adjusted. So keep adjusting it and making sure that that line is gone, but we don't lose any detail that we want to keep. Also, with this brush selected, I can click and drag here on the hair, and hopefully we'll get a better selection. Now, it didn't do that good of a job here, so I'm just gonna leave it like this for now, and then I can come back with the brush tool and fix that in a moment. So I'm gonna press OK, click on the brush tool, paint with white in areas that I want to keep. So I'm just gonna paint with white in these areas here. And to get rid of this guy here. And I'm not going to take the time to do so now. I will do that after the tutorial. You can see the final image, but I'm just going to go around the entire image and just make sure that everything is masked out accordingly. And in most of these areas, everything needs to be okay. I know we got to work on this area here. Like composite look much more realistic and much more interesting. So from the Adobe Stock library, I downloaded two elements we're going to use. We're going to use this shovel with snow, so let me just double click on that to open that up. And by the way, the links to these files are on the description. You have to download them from Adobe Stock. They're not free, but you can use a watermark preview to practice on. So I would recommend you doing that just so that you can have a way to practice and learn. So the first thing I gotta do is get rid of the shovel. I'm gonna click on the lasso tool. I'm gonna make a selection around the shovel. And as you can see, it's not very accurate. Move it onto itself. So notice what happens here on the snow on the edge. It essentially turns white, which is what we want. You could also, of course, apply a multiply blend mode and it'll give you a different result. In this case, I think I'm gonna go with screen. And then I'll just work on the edges in the next step. So I'm gonna press OK. And what I'm going to do now is go into image, adjustment, levels, and bring the levels to the right, the dark value to the right, so we have more contrast between the snow and the ground. And remember, we're going to be making a selection. Anything that's white in this screen will be selected, anything that is black will be deselected. So I'm going to drag this one over to the left a little bit. I'm looking at the edges here. And maybe drag this one to the left as well, and press OK. Now, what I'm going to do now is click on the brush tool, select black as my foreground color so I can produce black. I'm going to increase the size of my brush by clicking on the right bracket key on the keyboard